All right, guys, our next guest is just an absolute legend. You know him from his incredible music, his own show, That's Delicious, his book, It, I'll Start Tomorrow. All he used to do was eat oysters, and now he speaks 6 languages in 3 voices. Now, he's one of the most inspirational... 3? Now, he's one of the most inspirational stories around. Oh, and he's an absolute MMA fiend, the king of New York, Bam Bam Baklava himself, the one and only Action Bronson. Welcome for the very first time to Submission Radio. How are you, man?
This is a blessing, guys. I'm amazing. I feel tremendous. The air is beautiful. I feel like like when they tell you to take the turbo out in cold weather. I feel like that. I don't know. The turbo breathes better with cold weather. I feel like that's me.
Yeah, man. And how crazy is life, by the way? Because I remember me and Casper were watching you live when you toured with Eminem here in Melbourne, and you absolutely slayed it, bro. That was one of the craziest tours ever. I think Kendrick Lamar was there, J. Cole was there, Eminem. Yes. I mean, that is just one of the craziest lineups ever, and you were one of the highlights for us, man. And now here you are joining us on the show. It's such an honor, dude.
I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I can't even, that was one of the greatest times of my life. For some reason, I mean, they took me on tour and we went to Australia, New Zealand, and they felt like South Africa needed to be, touched also. And they thought it was close, but in essence, we fucking flew 18 hours from over there to fucking South Africa. It was unbelievable. But I opened up directly for Eminem in Johannesburg and in Cape Town, which was, that was fucking pretty next level. We were in the same hotel as Carlos Santana. I saw him eating breakfast.
Wow.
It was pretty next level. That's my idol growing up, Carlos Santana. I show my son his videos so he could learn the moves and the groove and the way. It was just all surreal shit, 2014. Man, it's a long time ago. I feel like an old-ass piece of shit.
Not at all, dude. But you're right. Life's crazy, man. You're doing everything also. Like, you're training jiu-jitsu, you're watching fights, you're hanging with Israel Adesanya. Yeah. I mean, it's very, very obvious that you love combat sports, but we always wondered, like, what first got you into MMA?
I mean, I've been watching the UFC since it was on cable. Like, back in the day, my friend had the illegal box, and we used to go over to his house. We used to go to each other's houses and watch all the WWFs, all the Summer Slams. We would order the pay-per-views. I ordered at my house because I didn't have it, but his father had the black box, and, that shit was just on. It would be on, and we'd see it, and then we'd go to Blockbuster and rent it, and it just became this thing going through life, just blood sport, kumite, just this constant thread that's woven throughout my life of wanting to be able to do a split, break bricks with my fucking head and just do all kinds of things, choke people out with my thighs. Like I just always wanted to do these things, and I'm in the fucking UFC game before a lot of these guys, man. Like Giga Chikadze, and he's not in the game. Islam's not in the game. I'm there. You could use me. I'm a fucking 4-star heavyweight. Thank you, Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. Do you remember the first fight, like, that really stood out to you that you watched when you were watching it on the black box at your friend's house, at your friend's dad's house?
It was the fight with, man, it was when they had the oddity fights. It was, he looked like fucking Abdullah the Butcher versus the fucking, which I forgot, homie with the tank top and the mullet.
Yeah,
but he was ill. He chopped him in the face, kicked him. It was amazing. Keith something.
Yeah. Keith Hackney, I think. Maybe?
Keith Hackney.
And he kicked his tooth out.
Keith Hackney. Yeah, exactly. That's the type of thing that draws you. And then the crazy Canadian dude, I mean, he got fucked up, but there was that crazy white Canadian dude. He seemed like he was from like Florida or something, but he wasn't.
Yeah. With the crazy mullet and stuff.
With the tooth.
Yeah.
Just all that stuff. It intrigued me. Marco Huas,
Yeah. I feel like you're a lot like a lot of us where like you were a pro wrestling fan and then you sort of graduated to, MMA and the UFC.
100%.
I also wonder, like, because you do so many things, how much for you and your love of MMA is kind of like the appreciation of expression. Because I feel like the one thing that the one big thing that like cooking, music, MMA, they all have in common, it's essentially like people expressing themselves in their art.
Yeah, I mean, they're dancing beautifully, but hitting each other, like it's I grew up playing video games, certain ones though, Mortal Kombat, you know, Street Fighter, Samurai Showdown, Streets of Rage, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that, Tekken, where you showed your skills in battle, one-on-one battle. And there was some sort of there was a superhero effect to you, you know, like whoever won was this unbelievable person. You just like ruled the world. All the Kung Fu movies, He-Man, shit like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude,
it's all art. It's all art, man. Life is art. This is all theatrics. This is all a big play.
Yeah, and speaking of the jiu-jitsu that you're doing now, I'm curious, what kind of jiu-jitsu, like what does Bam Bam look like in the jiu-jitsu room? Are you a guy that likes to go for all the sort of beautiful, nicely timed submissions? Are you somebody that likes to sort of stay in a certain position and just work from your strengths? Or are you a leg lock guy, man? Are you scooting for those leg locks? What do you look like in the training room?
What I'm doing is I'm really just working on the basics. I'm working on those positions where I know I'm going to be strong in, and then little baby steps from there. But the people that I've trained with actually three different people. One being Orlando Sanchez, who is straight up, he'll just want to hurt you badly. Another is Hiran Gracie, who is just like teaching you some beautiful things. And, you know, it's still very aggressive, but it's more defensive. And, you know, I haven't spent much time on the mat with Matt Serra, but the things that he taught me like, I don't know, I got a good grip, and he showed me an even better way to lock in the guillotine, you know? So I just feel like I like a mixture of it all. I like being able to, it's chess. It's all chess, and it's being able to impose your will and tricking them into doing and manipulating letting the person do what you really want to get in the position you want, or take it by force. See, it's all a game.
Yeah, 100%. I love that you don't just watch it. Like, you actually do it as well. You know, you're training like a million different things, and jiu-jitsu is one of them. But I wonder, like, in this kind of, you know,
I wrestle. I've been wrestling with my cousin. I've been wrestling for years in the streets. Like, we do street wrestling. I love that shit. Me and my cousin, I told him I'll give him $1,000 if he could take me down. It hasn't happened yet.
It's a good incentive, though. Imagine you're walking down New York and you see Action Bronson wrestling with his cousin in the street. I'd freak out.
But yeah, I mean, I'm training like I watch these guys train. I've trained with Chito, and he trains like a fucking animal. You know, he has me running like a dog. So I see these guys, and I aspire to have half the tank that they do. I mean, you know, I lost a lot of weight, and it's more than that at this point. I'm a fucking animal. I just want to beast out. And it's for no particular reason. It's just in me.
You can hear the passion in your voice, but what would you say you've sort of learned about yourself since starting jiu-jitsu and doing jiu-jitsu throughout this whole journey?
Well, it's not just jiu-jitsu. I train all kinds of things. I train hands. I train this. I train that. I do a lot of unorthodox things like swing maces and big kettlebells and shit like that, and Indian clubs, and I like that type of crazy shit. Run on the bridge and do all kinds of like burpees and shit. I just want to do the things that suck the most because I always hated doing it. But what I've learned is I have an ironclad mind, and I don't stop. Anything I put my mind to, it's just gonna happen.
You remind me of like, and I mean this in a nice way, kind of like an addict. You've got like that singular focus energy, but you're transferring not into like bad things.
Nah, I'm addicted to a lot of bad things. I was addicted to fucking all kinds of foods that could have led me down a bad path, which is just as bad as heroin, you know? That's my H. Now I'm on a different type of H. I'm on my health, I'm on my work. And this always happens. I'm seasonal, but I have to keep this forever. You know, I go through moods. I go through, you know, this is life. My mood ring changes a different color, and then it's just a new time.
And it's so inspirational as well, man. Like, I know myself and a lot of your fans will be watching your videos, the transformations, and it makes us want to get out there and work out during lockdown in times where, you know, things aren't as easy to do. But I'm just curious, I know when me and Casper were growing up and the UFC was blowing up, it kind of changed things a little bit. Like, you went from thinking, all right, this is what's effective, to like, in a street fight to realizing a guy like, you know, a great, like one of the Gracie guys, or somebody from the UFC, or somebody that you've seen on Pride can actually win a fight? And it's not about size, it's about technique and all sorts of things. Do you remember when people started picking up some of the stuff from the UFC and sort of things changed a little bit in the streets for you when you saw some of the fights and things that people were utilizing?
I mean, I've seen people get choked out before. You don't mess with certain people. Like there's no reason to mess with anybody in general. But if you're going to mess with somebody, you just got to choose. You got to just choose your battles, bro. Just like I've seen the littlest people choke out the biggest men. And it's not nice to get into street fights. Everyone should be nice to each other. But I've seen lots of crazy things. I've seen pit bulls let loose on other people.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Queens, man. It's a fucking crazy place.
Yeah,
but it's also beautiful. It's very cultural, and it's a great place to raise a family.
Yeah, 100%. There's no pitbull defense in the Gracie Baja gym. I've always loved your song "Time for Some," and in it there's this line that goes, "Bas Rutten, I'm ass booting, I'm pass shooting," and I'd always mark out when I heard that, because it's like, yes, like, you know, one of our guys being represented in the mainstream, and Bas is so amazing. But I always wondered, like, what made you want to put his name in a song?
I don't know, because first of all, Bas is sick. He's a fucking unbelievable person. If there's anybody to mention, it's Bas Rutten. And then I'm just the type of guy who likes to incorporate obscure athletes into my raps. It's obscure athletes that, you know, you have to be of the ilk to know, be cut of the same jib. So I like mentioning people like Ruven, Nitzelroy, you know, different types of like strength athletes like Zydrunas Savickas, Vastil Virstuk, Mariusz Pudzianowski has been mentioned several times. Yeah, which is, you know, he just knocked out fucking Bombardier, which was, bro, come on, man. Those are the type of fights that are just crazy. Like, fucking Mariusz, he does it all. Mariusz, I'm in a Polish neighborhood right now.
Well, I was gonna say,
belly is all Polish. I eat Polish cold cuts all day.
Yes,
and we got Casper on the line. Casper's Polish. I'm Ukrainian. It's all happening, bro.
It's all Eastern Bloc over here, baby.
Yeah.
People like it. You guys are the Australians. Look at your surnames. What the hell's going on? I was gonna say, man. Obviously, we're on the heels of UFC 267.
What a tremendous day.
Dude, I know you're kind enough to share that Insta story when you were listening to our Dan Hooker interview that made our year.
I always listen to the Dan Hooker Report. It's one of my favorite segments.
He's an honorary co-host on the show, but
I'm an honorary Aussie and I'm an honorary Kiwi. I love those guys over there. You saw, I was with Israel before, you know, before shit popped off, and I just saw him training, and I just knew something was gonna happen with him. He was an instant star when I met him. I met him in New York, and then when I went to NZ, he showed love, and I went into the gym and we had some good times and had some dinner and shit like that. I knew he was going to be the guy.
A bit of a rough night though in the office the other night for Dan Hooker. I mean, incredible night of fights, but what was your reaction when you saw that fight with him and Islam?
That was one of my my marquee fights of the evening, and man, it was just unfortunate. He threw the kick, Islam shot, took him down, held him down, fucking submitted him right away. It was just display of another level of just ground, man. It's just like that Dagestani wrestling is just fucking hard to, like, what are they doing over there?
I know.
My God, it's like you can't do anything. It's crippling.
I know. It's like there's something in the water there. You got the memes of like Habib finally leaving the lightweight division, breathing a little bit, and then in comes Islam. And they're like, oh, fuck, here comes another one. I always wondered, though, what was it about Dan that sort of drew you in? Because I get the sense that you're a big Dan Hooker fan. Like, what sort of...
I love Dan,
what fighters and stories kind of stand out to you?
I mean, for Dan just reminds me of somebody I know, you know what I mean? Like, he's just always ready. He's always ready to go, and he's just a tough motherfucker. He doesn't care what, who, when, where, why. It's just, let's get it. My friend Tom Gould, he's a Kiwi. I don't know. It's reminiscent of what I know. You know, I've been around that type of, I don't know. There's something that draws me to these guys. Like, I love that whole camp. Like, I love Volkanovski. I love all these guys. I don't know. There's just something that draws me. He's Macedonian. My family lived in Skopje, you know?
Yeah, he's so inspirational. We remember when he was coming up in the UFC, he'd always have sneaky injuries that people would pull out of fights for, but he'd always pretend that he's 100% healthy, and then afterwards it's like, oh man, my leg was falling off. We're like, oh my God, Alex, that's crazy, brother. That's crazy. But man,
that's what I'm saying. That attitude, these guys, they just don't give a shit. They're not gonna fucking make excuses, and they're gonna go for this. It's inspiring to see that shit.
Super inspiring, man. Super inspiring. What did you think of Khamzat Chimaev, man? Because that guy made one hell of a return to the division. And also, let me add this to the question.
Bruh.
A lot of people thinking, hey, this guy should be getting that next title shot. Where are you at with that? Because obviously you got Leon Edwards fighting.
We have to give it to Leon. Come on. Leon has to get the title shot already. Just give him the title shot. That's it. Khamzat is coming up. He's next. That was unbelievable. And Li Jingliang, I fucking love him too. I love the Leech. I thought the Leech was an amazing fighter. I thought he was on his way up, but he got handled in some fucking serious communism beef yesterday. That was old school shit. You know what I mean? That was like, he fucking got shown to the crowd, slammed, and then fucking like turned to the cage for Dana to see, choked out. He didn't tap like a fucking warrior, though. But at the end of the day, that was just an unbelievable display. Khamzat's on some shit. He said that he just wants to come, have a good time, kill somebody, get his money, and go eat his mother's food. I mean,
how relatable, right?
What else can you say?
Yeah, that's what we all want to do, basically. But you're right. That was like some gladiator shit when he lifted up the Leech, and as if he was showing his trophy before he had actually won it, and then presented it to Dana.
Unbelievable. And I know I'm good friends with Ilir Latifi, light heavyweight from UFC, and he trains with him in Sweden. And he's been saying that this guy is the one. He's no joke.
Yeah, and his post-fight interview kind of reminded me a little bit of the Marshall Mathers LP, just yelling that he's going to kill everybody. I'm like, here we go. Criminal part 2 dropping here.
Yeah. I want to come to get the money, and then I'm going home. I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
Someone's got to sample that for sure.
It's tremendous language. I love it. He makes me feel good.
Let's talk about the big fights.
Leon needs to get that shot. Leon's done so much. You know, like, just give him the shot already. Let's go.
Yeah, 100%. Looking forward to this fight with him and Jorge Masvidal at UFC 269. If he wins that, there's no denying him the next title shot. But we got UFC 268 this weekend, man. The big question is, how are you guys watching UFC 268? Are you buying it on pay-per-view or on Fight Pass? Because there's easier ways. If you want to watch it for free, you don't need to find a dodgy stream. You just find all the pubs in your area that are showing it. You can go watch it for free. You can go have a few pints with your buddies. That's where your good friends at Match Pint come in handy. Match Pint means no more ringing around to find a pub to watch the fight. You don't have to ask them, hey, do you have commentary? Do you not? Is it going to be loud? Is it going to be busy? What are the deals? Do you have, can I bet there? Just download the app and see all the venues closest to you. It works in proximity. You can search any venue you like. And look, you work hard for your money, right? Instead of spending that hard-earned money to stream the fight, why don't you just get the crew together? Lockdown is over. Melbourne is officially the longest running lockdown, world record. Now we're done. Everybody's free all over Australia, all over most parts of the world. Grab your buddies, go to the pub and use Match Pint to find wherever they're going to be streaming UFC 268 this weekend.
Yeah, man, that's right. So click the link description below. Download the app today. Match Pint is your best mate for sport in UFC 268, man. What an unbelievable time to watch the fights with your mates, thanks to Match Pint. Now, speaking of UFC 268, Cass, so much money to be made, so many crazy fights coming up. I mean, what's going to happen? Will Colby Covington be able to do it? Will he be able to beat Kamaru Usman? Will Usman be able to do another great performance, walk away as champion? So many big fights, so many big bets, and there's only one place to go and do it, and that is at MyBookie. You guys can go right now, sign up, and double your first deposit with a code word submission. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with our friends at MyBookie, Cass.
That's right. And by the way, guys, ho, 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 the holidays have come early this year with Manscaped. I know you're probably already thinking about doing your Christmas shopping, but I'll tell you, Santa Claus's beard, not so appealing when it's hanging out of your pants. So jingle balls to the walls, guys. Save that bush, get rid of it, especially here in Australia where we're approaching summer and it's going to be hot, and you want to be a little bit more aerodynamic and look good. Maybe you can get yourself and your partner 2 gifts, the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0, 2 birds, 1 stone. Start ordering now. You don't want to be racking your brains this Christmas thinking, gee, what do I get the family and this person and that person? Nice and easy, Manscaped. They're giving away the 20% code. And the Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Crop Preserver and the Crop Reviver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant, moisturizer, and toner. You get the Manscaped Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, which is also waterproof. And of course, the delightful Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, the best grooming tool on the market, 7,000 RPM motor, multiple guards for different lengths and textures, LED light, waterproof, up to 90 minutes of battery life. This one has the travel lock. I mean, the holidays are basically locked in, isn't that right, Dennis?
That's right, man. And for everybody, all the ladies listening to this right now, a fantastic beard trimmer. So a great present for your partner if you want to sort of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And just because you've survived Halloween doesn't mean your significant other has to scream when they see a package. So that's a Scream joke. I just watched the Scream movies for the first time on the weekend. Hey, man, they're not too bad. First couple of movies, a lot of fun. Get 20% off and free shipping with a code word submission. Go to manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code word submission. But action, UFC 268 coming this weekend, though, man, in your own backyard of New York.
You know I'll be there.
I know, man. Well, yeah, we know you're at the fights all the time, dude. So what are you looking forward to the most from this action-packed card, though?
I mean, I love that Rose and Zhang Weili fight. I can't wait to see that. I was a big Zhang Weili fan. I still am. I love Rose. I mean, she needs to bounce back in a major way. I want to see this be like one of those. I want to see a sick woman's trilogy. Like, let her get another one back. And then for that third, that Pearl, you know what I mean? I want to see that.
Yeah, this could be an amazing rivalry, and especially because the first one ended so quickly. I love it. See if Weili can bounce back.
She had a war with Joanna.
Yeah,
she had a fucking war with Joanna, man. Like, and I love Joanna also. She's the only UFC glove that I have signed. I don't have any memorabilia, but she gave it to me. She came on my show back in the day, and she put me in a rear naked choke in the kitchen. And it was one of the greatest things that ever happened.
Fuck, that's delicious. That's definitely delicious.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, what about Gaethje and Chandler? That's going to be crazy.
I love that Gaethje Chandler. I wish. Oh man, I like that fight. I'm interested. I'm interested to see what goes on. I mean, everyone's gotten their shot already. Islam's right. Everyone got their shot already. What is this for? Is this for, the next after next? But I can't wait to see that. Gaethje's a thumper. Chandler's a thumper. I can't wait for Chito to fight. I want to see what he's been doing because I was training with this fool. Let's see what he's up to. See those elbows on the legend.
Yeah, man, you're getting us really excited. It's a week away, but we can't wait. Hey, man, what do you think of because Colby Covington was on the show recently. Before we get your thoughts on the fight, what do you think about Lil Wayne potentially walking him out to the octagon? You'll be there live to witness.
That's pretty crazy. Has anyone? What song is he gonna do?
Sky's the Limit.
Sky's the Limit. Yeah.
I don't know that one. But if he does some old shit like bling bling,
yeah.
Every time I come around your city, bling bling.
Yeah.
That's gonna make me fucking get crazy.
You see, he would have done. He would have done a milli back in the day, but no one was making any money, so it wouldn't have made any sense.
He'd be the richest one in the room.
Yeah.
Just quickly on that, so to jump in, Cass. You walking somebody out to the octagon would be absolutely epic. You're in the game. Is there one guy that stands out in your mind who you'd love to sort of accompany to the ring one day?
Man, I don't know. You know, I had a chance. Andy Ruiz, when he won the belt here, he hit me up in my DMs and he asked me to bring him out, walk him out to fucking Acting Crazy.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it and I missed it and I didn't walk him out and he won the belt from Anthony Joshua that night.
Fuck.
And that would have been fucking nice.
Dude, oh my God.
You know what I mean? That would have been a beautiful thing to walk the homie out at the Garden. Like, come on, man. I don't know. I don't want to do that. I'm just a fan. I don't want to get involved like that. I'm just a fan, man. I just like to observe. I don't want to get too involved. I just really enjoy this shit personally, you know. Like yesterday, I was doing a performance at this thing called Rolling Loud. Mm-hmm. It's a big festival now, and it's, you know, affectionately known as a shit show. And, you know, it took an hour to get checked. 7 different pat downs, which I'm all right with. I didn't have anything to hide, and now, you know, I've been working out, so they got a fucking good feel.
Yeah.
They got a good feel of what the fucking structure was. Mm-hmm. And I was watching all the fights in the car. I do my performance for a half hour. I'm watching right as I go on the stage. Petr Yan wins the fucking belt. I announce it on stage.
Nice.
I had to let motherfuckers know. You know, Glover and fucking and Jan go on next. I'm checking in with my cousin periodically on the side, like what's going on. As I finish the show, rear naked choke on the floor, game over. Mm-hmm. And it was a perfect day. I didn't miss any fights. I watched every single fight. I did my performance. I was in and out 55 minutes like a fucking pro. I don't know what to say with myself. I don't know what to do.
You're like the James Bond of New York, just a perfect mix of business and pleasure, man.
Man, listen, there's not many people that like to do it like this. You know, I move in mysterious ways. I know what these things are. If it's a stand around thing, it's a fuckboy fucking hangout thing. I'm not into that. I like to go in and out, boom, boom, boom. I have things to do. I went home, I read a couple of books to my child, and that was that.
Love it, man. We'll let you go in a second. We don't want to take up your whole day, but we just have to ask, as far as Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman, I always wanted to get your thoughts, man. Like, what do you think of Colby Covington's persona? You know, this character that he's created. People are so divided, and people are offended. Oh, you know, he crosses the line, this and that. Other people love it. Such a throwback to like pro wrestling and like heel characters. You know, there's always this constant debate. Should he say these things? Should he not say these things? Where do you stand on all that?
I just think he should be who he wants to be. And if he's saying all these things, just stand behind it. That's it. I mean, I'm not bothered by a goddamn thing. I think that everything, it is what it is. And if this is the way he wants to be, that's how he is. You know, this is how he gets himself, riled up to go and do what he does. He's an amazing athlete. Like, that dude is not to be played with, even though people could question whatever, but that's you get people talking by doing that. You create this persona, you're a heel. It's not pro wrestling, but he's still, it's still entertainment.
I mean, it's
Kamaru is not a dude to be played with. He doesn't have to act. He's just dangerous. He's a nightmare. Like he says, he's fucking scary dude, and he shows by his ways, and that's that. He's just a different person. Everyone's different. Can't fault anybody for who they are.
And the thing about it is, Colby Covington, he's so good. If there was no Kamaru Usman in the division, you'd be like, hey, man, this guy would be the champion for sure. But Kamaru Usman just happens to come around, and this guy's like a once-in-a-generation type athlete who's leaving a hell of a legacy. Who do you think's going to win it, man? What's your prediction for it?
Man, that I can't predict things like that. That I can't do. But that I will be standing on the seat watching that fight. 100%, because there's only going to be one motherfucker in front of me, and it's probably Mel Gibson. I think he gave me COVID one day. I think he gave me COVID at the last one.
Really? Bloody Passion of the Christ gave you COVID? What is this?
Mel Gibson gave me COVID. Make it a headline.
It's going to be the title of this video. What do you mean he gave you? So he's not one of the better guys to watch the fights with cage side.
Nah, but he was there from the prelims on. We were the only ones.
Wow.
Mel and I.
Respect. Wow. What's your ritual normally when you go to MSG of all places, man? When you go to watch fights? We actually ran into you at UFC 241, the BMF belt. You were just there getting your tickets.
Tell him the story, Cass. Tell him the story. Right. It's a good, quick story.
I was just well, from what I remember, the UFC was kind of ushering us because getting into MSG is kind of crazy. There's all sorts of pat downs and this and that. Check your bags and whatever. And then they were kind of escorting us through, and then we're going through. We kind of fell behind. I think, I don't know, one of us might have been looking at our bags for something. We lost the UFC people. And then Dennis was like, dude, that's Action Bronson. And I thought, I'm in New York with just a couple of guys from Australia. Our videographer, Abby Chavon, was there. We were like, dude, we have to say something, man. A couple of years ago, I was Ubering to make ends meet. And the main songs that I would play were your stuff because it was just it put people in a good mood, man. And I thought, I have to say hi. So we did. And you were so fucking kind. You were so nice. You took photos.
That makes me feel good.
You were just like one of the people. That was the takeaway. This is a man of the people.
And one of the things Action was just on that story as well. So our videographer, Abby, you would know because he does a lot of stuff for the MMA Junkie, has documentaries, the guy's an OG. And he was working the videography game with us leading into this. He goes, man, the one guy, and this is before we saw you anything, goes, the one guy that I want to meet on this trip is Action Bronson. We're like, bro, that would be amazing. Action Bronson's one of our favorites too. Going to the thing and go, hey, there's Action Bronson just standing there. He's like, oh my God. That was his trip made, dude. You could not believe the smile on this guy's face, bro. It was unbelievable. I love that.
Tell him I said hello, give him my regards. That makes me feel great.
100%.
Just quickly on Madison Square Garden, Action. So many classic fights, pro wrestling events, right? Like every time me and Casper step into that place, we touch the ground, you can feel the energy. And by the way, your Knicks, who are one of my favorite teams to watch, all of a sudden.
Look at those guys. Look at those men play. We're back.
I know. And Derek Rose kind of reminds me a bit of a Dan Hooker. He's the guy that sort of come back and just pure respect for that guy. But I'm curious, what is your favorite? Oh, he's the best. What is your favorite fight or even maybe pro wrestling event that you have seen go down at the Mecca?
I've seen a lot of WWF, a lot. I've been there for many, many different things, many different Knick games. I've been there for Ranger games. I've been there for fucking weird shit. I can't even remember what I've been there for. They used to have like Halloween shit at the Garden. All kinds of weird stuff. But I feel WrestleMania 10, me in attendance, WrestleMania 10 for my birthday. It was pretty next level.
Dude, that's the bucket list. Wow. What do you remember from being there? WrestleMania 10, that's crazy.
What I remember very, very vividly, do you remember the movie The Program?
Yeah. With
college football movie. The dude who was on Mad Juice, his name was Latimer.
Okay, yeah.
I saw him on the escalator, and I was like, yo, that's fucking Latimer. I was like 10 years old. I loved it. It was so, to be young again.
That was your version of our Action Bronson moment.
It was just Latimer from The Program, just one random character that was on Juice.
But dude, that was the one with the ladder match between HBK and Scott Hall, man. And that is possibly one of the most iconic moments. You got to see that live. Like, that's unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. And I got to meet and hang out and call Scott Hall a friend. So it's pretty next level also. I don't, Razor, Sean, those guys are like the fucking, like the basis of a lot of things that we all think about in like act. I don't know, like there's a lot of roots in WWF in a lot of us. I know for me specifically there is, that type of, it kind of allows you to imagine,
And by the way, like WWE now, you have Vince McMahon, one of the greatest promoters of all time. Then you've got Dana White in the UFC, one of the greatest promoters of all time. And I know Dana. Yourself, you've worked with some of the greatest music promoters of all time on some of the biggest tours around the world. What are a couple of I don't know if you would have met Vince, but what are a couple of things about both guys that you sort of appreciate from the other perspective, being someone who's a talent, being someone that knows what a good promoter does?
Well, they got a good eye. There's no doubt about that. But, they go I can speak more on Dana. I feel like Vince, he always seems like he seems like an evil type of character, like he's an unreachable evil type of character. So I can't even speak on him. But Dana, he's always been so gracious to me and just a fucking gentleman and the man. So I just appreciate what he does and how he goes to bat and moves this shit forward, because I'm a huge sports fan, baseball, football, basketball, but mixed martial arts, UFC specifically, I mean, all the championships, they do amazing, all the different promotions, but what he does over there is just, it's unmatched, it's unrivaled, it's unbelievable. It gives me pleasure every week. Like, I like to listen to sports talk. I wish there was a nonstop sports talk for MMA every day that I could listen to, a fucking channel that I could have you guys, Ariel, DC, Chael. Like, come on. What the fuck is going on? This sport is much bigger than all these things going down now. This is the fastest rising thing, and I just need more. I need more.
I know, man. We suffer from the same thing. Being greedy is like one of our favorite vices, but we're not going to be greedy with your time now. We can see the skyline, the beautiful New York skyline. It's going a bit amber. It's getting a bit dark. So look at this. The view that you picked out, the natural light. Amazing, man. Amazing. Follow the man on Instagram at Bam Bam Baklava, on Twitter at Action Bronson. His book, Fuck It, I'll Start Tomorrow. Catch Fuck That's Delicious exclusively on his YouTube channel, Action Bronson. It is all his. He owns it, where you can also follow his culinary and fitness journeys. And of course, the latest album, Only for Dolphins. Action, this is an absolute honor. Thank you so much for jumping on. Thank you so much for chatting MMA with us. You're welcome anytime.
This made me very happy today. Thank you, guys.